Okay, we're going to go over use of the Dolphin Neurostim for the wrist points. These are what are called parasympathetic points. They are listed as stress and anxiety in the book. So yes, most of us probably could use some reduction of stress and anxiety. If not, good for you. But we're going to go over 4 key points in the wrist that help with that stress and anxiety. Now, this is also a great place to start before you do any kind of pain treatment, before you do any treatment for neck pain, back pain, what have you. It's actually a great place to start as well. When we're in pain, our bodies are more in that reactive state, that stress state. So by doing this, it can actually set you up well for treatment of other things. So it's a great place to start anyway, all right? So first, turn it on. So you're going to hear it buzzing. Now you're going to turn this on. Now you don't necessarily have to start all the way up. This is stronger, this is less. So when you're in treatment and you press the button, the stimulation delivered is going to be less intense down, more intense up. It says high-low. I would start a little off of the on, a little off of full up. So you're full up, back off a little bit. You don't have to be all the way. This isn't something that really works on strength, okay? Now next up, what we're going to do is we're going to turn around to the back and we're going to say, what do we want to do with this dial? A good place to start with this dial is going to be about 3.5 to 4. If you're just starting out, 4 is good. As you get better, you're going to start dialing it down to 3 and even 2.5. But figure 4, 4.5 even is good at first. But this is the sensitivity dial. Think of to the left makes it more sensitive. The points are harder to find because remember, we're finding acupuncture points. These points are harder to find if the dial is to the left toward wet skin, because if your skin is sweaty, it conducts better, and therefore you have to make it more sensitive or you're gonna not find the point. For instance, okay, I'll give you a demo. I'm gonna turn this all the way up to the lowest sensitivity where we call dry skin. And we're gonna look and we're gonna try to find these points. So if I was looking for a point in here, these points are easy to find. But let's say in general, okay, bad example. I seem to have easy points to find today, or maybe I have sweaty skin because it is a little warm in here. But the point is this: the more sensitive you make it, the more toward the left side, counterclockwise, more toward the 2, 3. The harder it is going to be to find the points, but it means you're going to find those points more accurately, okay? So let's get into the wrist now. Again, we have it set. I have it at 2, but you guys can be 4, 4.5. You're going to turn it around. You're going to kind of hold it like a pen, all right? You want to just kind of hold it like this. So your thumb is on this metal plate. It's important for your thumb to be on that plate. Think of it's like an engraver. It reminds me of an engraver or some sort of utensil that you would hold. So thumb on the metal plate. Middle finger on the button. It could be this finger. Most people probably middle finger on the button. All right. So middle finger, button, thumb on the plate. Now you're gonna get the body part to be treated in front of you. Sorry, this is kind of an awkward angle. But what we're gonna do here is now we're gonna use our book. We're gonna use the book, and it's gonna show you these points. It's gonna say, okay, let's find these points. And see each of those 3 points on the wrist, it's going to tell you where to do it. On the left-hand side, for instance, what it's saying right now is for H7, the point H7, the name's not really important, but if you were looking for that point, what you would want to do is it's telling you to find out here, there's a tendon, okay? So you're going to kind of bend your wrist a little bit, and you're gonna feel right in this area, you're gonna feel a little tendon under the skin, all right? If you really can't find it, you can resist and try to feel it and say, ooh, okay, there it is. This little cord's gonna pop out right here. This is on the pinky side of your hand, okay? This little cord's gonna pop out. Now what it says is right to the inside of that. So I know about where I felt that tendon. Now I'm gonna take the tool, I'm gonna go in that area and I'm gonna look for it. See how right away though, it's not quite finding it. It's not quite finding it. Pitch is getting higher, and now it goes out, okay? Because I put it right where I needed it. I am on the point, the light's out, okay? Leaves a little dimple on the skin, again. Boom, there I am, I'm on the point. I'm gonna now press the button. You hear how it changes? It's chirping, I call it. When the dolphin is chirping, we're in treatment mode. We're actually getting the therapeutic microcurrent into that acupuncture point. When it's in non-chirping mode, when my finger's off the button, that high pitch that's just finding. That's a probing frequency that's looking for the acupuncture point. But you see how when I'm on it, pitch is higher, light goes out, treat. You're going to treat up to 30 seconds, or you can even just count 30 cycles. It's probably going to be more like 20 seconds, but that should be enough. A little more is going to hurt you, but you can generally just shoot for 30 cycles, about 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, okay? That's number one. Now, next point. We are looking for a point now on the thumb side of the wrist. It's called LU9 in the book. So what you're going to do is your book might be a little different. My book is telling me that you're going to find it between the radial pulse in the bone itself. So where I'm looking is I'm finding my pulse, and it's inside of that. It's a little inside of that. So what I'll do, and I'm sorry, both of these are on what we call the wrist crease, this furthest wrist crease, the one closest to your palm is where you want to look. So now I'm going to find that point. Same idea, right? I'm going to kind of, sorry, I'm in your way. I'm going to find that point. Pitch is high, light goes out. See, light is out. And then once I find that point, I'm going to hit the button. It's going to put the current in. 20, 30 seconds later, we're going to move on. Next one, it says 3 fingers away from the wrist crease, okay? This crease in the wrist, we're going to be 3 fingers away from it or towards your elbow. So it goes by your fingers, not the person you're treating. I'm sorry, it goes by the width, your fingers if you're treating yourself, but if the person you're treating has significantly thicker fingers, you have to kind of estimate and adjust for that. You got to look at their fingers, all right? Treating yourself, it's your fingers, 1, 2, 3. So right there, I'm making kind of a visual mark on my, just kind of staying looking at that point right where I want to be, which is about there, okay? So if I look at where my fingers landed, it's going to be about right there. I keep my eyes on that point. I don't usually draw a pen mark on it. But so essentially, once we see that point, we go ahead and then we're going to say, okay, that's about where I want to be. What do you know? It's right there. You hear the pitch? See? See? Lower pitch. Highest pitch. Lights out. See that lights out? Lights on, I'm not on the point. Lights out, I'm on it. Once I'm on it, I'm going to stimulate. Again, 30 seconds. Last point we're going to show you is going to be 2 finger widths toward the elbow on this side of your wrist. So think of above the thumb, kind of on the side. You might consider it the side of your wrist, but you're going to say the base of the thumb. Your finger will fit right in the base of the thumb. And then we're going to go 2 fingers above. There's a little hollow in the bone. The way my book describes is hollow in the bone. I think yours will be the same. And it'll just say, where is that hollow? Again, make a visual mark looking at that point. Then use the tool to find it, and then stimulate. So that's going to be it. You're going to do both sides. Each point 30 seconds, right? Quick review. 1 on the pinky side, 1 on the thumb side, 1 on right in the middle toward the wrist, and 1 just 2 fingers up on that side, on that thumb side of your wrist, okay? So that's all there is to it. I feel better already. What do you know? I hope you do too. Literally, most people will notice. It's as simple as if you just do 30 seconds on each of these 4 points on each side. I mean, that's 4 minutes. And most people notice that, this really relaxes them. They feel relaxed, they're calmer. You can even, in fact, do this. I'm gonna even tell you to go ahead and do a little experiment. Go ahead and before you do this, write down on a piece of paper your level of, whether you want to call it stress or anxiety, whatever you want to call it. write that down on a 0 to 10 scale. 0 would be I'm calm as a cucumber, I'm Buddha, I'm just happy as can be. That's a 0. 10 would be so stressed you feel you're going to have a nervous breakdown. Put your stress scale down on a piece of paper before you do this, and then after you do this, take a few minutes and let it set in. It might take a couple minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. A lot of times this is there's a short delay on treatment to effect. And then log that again and see if it's effective for you. Most people will notice that they do have a perceivable reduction in their stress or their anxiety, or an improvement in their mental state. And that's really important. That's important for pain. That's important for just health overall. So it's a really important thing. If we're more in that calm state, what we call that parasympathetic state, that is a much better place to be. That's related to healing and health and kind of anti-disease, you might say, where when you're in the other phase of things, that's not a good place to be. That's what's going to make health conditions worse, even lead to disease. We know chronic stress leads to disease. So this is kind of a tool to really push you back into that other zone. Shouldn't be used alone, right? I think breathing, meditation, yoga, exercise, whatever should also be employed. But it is a nice trick, a nice quick tool to say, okay, I have a way to get my body back into that state, or at least more toward that state. Hope this helped. Feel free to ask if you have any questions.